Hello, YouTube. How everyone doing? Okay, let's talk about sexual assault and survivors and women that lie. Now, number one thing, sexual assault in kids. Now, this here is about a little girl was 11 years old. She was getting repeatedly raped by a doctor. What I don't get is what the fuck was her parents doing? And it was in a kid's ward. So, damn, why didn't one of her parents stay with her? Why did they take the word of a doctor? Did they ever go in to see her? Why did that repeatedly happen to her while in the hospital? What was the other fucking doctors and nurses and stuff? But I guess it took some time from when all this shit used to happen. So that's why parents have to be with their kids now. But it was a children's word. So even believe back in the damn day that they have it where parents stay in there with their kids. So the mother and the father was too busy and they couldn't get off work. Or what was the problem why they wasn't there? And this woman go years and years and years without reporting this. I mean, she got out the hospital. Her parents got her out of the hospital. Years and years passed by, and she says nothing. Nothing at all. I get there, so if I am not knocking them that. But my thing is, if this guy was a doctor for years and years and years, a half a fucking century, half his goddamn life. With that being said, would it have been half his life that he was a doctor? Now, him being a doctor half his damn life. Seeing kids that probably cannot talk, people are dealing with anorexia, so mostly anorexia. So that's like in the teenage age. So anorexia. So with that being said, nobody noticed nothing. Did they not talk to their daughter? I mean, they said that he was standing right there, and so she couldn't say nothing. Okay, why is it that dude was always around when she was making a phone call? It should be protective things in place for kids and stuff like that, just in case their parents can't be there. But I don't understand for the life of me why her parents wasn't. Why did she let it go so long and not say nothing? Also, the longer you wait before you say something, it's hard to prove what you're saying is the truth. I say this because for a very long time, it's certain women that fake and pretend to be victims. No one know about if this is the truth unless this video are witnesses that they're really a victim, but our creator, Jesus, and the other people that were there are peoples. So people. So with that being said, the longer you wait, you don't get a rape kit done. I mean, I believe they give you the option if you want to go forward with it, but I think they still test. I think they still test the rape kit. So with that being said, having it on file, and even if you don't press charges and have it tested, it get the evidence in the computer files. So with that being said, being in the computer files, because you got a rape test done, even if you do not press charges, you still can help someone else. Also, and if you come forward, because this doctor was a doctor for fucking half a century, half his life. So with that being said, think about how many other victims it was other than her. And she said she was 11 at the time and was not there in the hospital. So I don't know for sure. But I'm talking about for the victims. You should not wait. You should go get seen as soon as possible. Do not brush your teeth. Don't do none of that. You go straight to the hospital. Make sure every bruise and everything is documented. That's for the women and children have been sexual assaulted. Now, for these people that lie about it and makes harder for real victims that are going through things, and when a cop asks them 50,000 questions and making that female feel little or scaring them is not the fucking way to do it. So you think about Law and Order and how they cross-examine, how they try to put the victim's life on the stand and stuff like that. Now, with that being said, that right there is judging a female before they know what happened. Someone be judgmental. So you got to have better people to handle and know when to tell when a person lying and stuff. Some females get mad and they decide they want to fucking play games with people's life. The life of me don't understand why would they fucking do that. That's fucked up. With that being said, we'll go ahead and listen to this. Oh yeah, my plain example. Okay, for instance, I ain't even talk about it. Yeah, I think I did. I mentioned about R. Kelly, about all these females that come out the woodwork, just like when any other person that supposedly had done something. Now, with that being said, the thing that gets me the most is the two females that said that R. Kelly is not that guy. They call him Robert. Robert is not that type of guy. And stuff like that. Oh, they singing his praises, and then they go flip the script and say something different. To me, my personal opinion, it seemed like they was telling the truth the first time. Because if you've been sexual assault and you've been held against your will, why would you laugh while you talking about it? I don't get that. Why would you fucking laugh? It's real fucking victims out there. Not saying she ain't. Hey, I wasn't in that bedroom. But I'm just saying. I met some people that actually been molested and they didn't think of it as a joking side. They didn't joke about the shit. That's for sure. So, I'm get on the subject and let y'all watch this. Here we go.
The only one that was there for anorexia. I was 11 years old. The only one that was there for anorexia, for an eating disorder. He would always come in on the weekends.
Susan Kryhoski, now 40, says her pediatrician in 1992 was Dr.
40 years
Joseph
old.
Silverman, whose 2012 obituary noted he was a renowned international eating disorder expert and exemplary human being. But Kryhoski says the doctor was a predator who used his prominence to get her admitted to the baby's hospital in 1992, isolating her in a room at the end of the hall. She said a curtain obscured a small window during the pediatrician's weekly visits.
What he told me was that he was performing a medical procedure that would ensure that I could have children later on in life. It was rape.
She said the weekly assaults continued for more than 2 months, while calls to her parents were monitored. She recalled drawing pictures of the doctor as a monster, but says the nurses threw them away.
He told me that if I told anyone, I would never see my parents ever again.
In a lawsuit filed against New York and Presbyterian Hospital, Kryhoski's legal team is also suing unknown nurses and doctors called John Doe's 1 to 20.
Nobody questioned him. Even when red flags were coming up, don't wonder why, don't say anything when a doctor is in the room with an 11-year-old girl by himself with the door closed.
Kryhoski said at one point she tried to escape using the bridge linking Baby's Hospital to the Milstein Pavilion. When she was taken out of her room for a test, she was caught. Susan Kryhoski told us that it was only after her parents stopped getting any kind of updates from Dr. Silverman about their daughter's condition that they decided to check her out of the hospital against medical advice. But life was not the same for the adolescent girl anymore. She chronically switched schools and worse.
A path of self-harm, of suicide attempts. I truly didn't feel like a 6th grader anymore. I didn't feel like an 11-year-old anymore.
Kryhoski was able to file the decades-old complaint using New York's Child Victims Act, which has a window for litigation that will close on August 14th. And Kryhoski's attorneys learned of another lawsuit filed last year by a former Silverman patient who said she was 15 when she allegedly contracted gonorrhea from the doctor in 1978. The pediatrician was affiliated with the hospital for 40 years. Susan Kryhoski received years of treatment for trauma, and
1978, a female caught a disease at 15 years old from this doctor in 1978, and nothing wasn't done then. What the hell? That motherfuckers do some shit like that now. Hopefully the people will come forward and get these motherfuckers off the streets. I don't care that doctor, nurse, PA, cop. I don't care. Give a fuck who they are. They can go bye-bye in jail cell. My opinion.
she did marry, giving birth to twins, a boy and a girl. They will turn 11 next month, the same age she was when the alleged rape started.
I'm writing the ending to my story. I'm not a survivor anymore.
4 years, 40 years?
I'm Mary Murphy, Pix 11
You're
News.
40 years old now.
Pix 11 reached out to the hospital for a statement. We received an email from the press office this evening saying the hospital declines to comment.
It's an old case, so with being an old case, so it may be a little hard to find any extra information about it. I'm gonna have to do some searching. I'd rather do the videos on it, so that you can see it for yourself and like any extra stuff they have going on with it. So with that being said, speak to you again when I find out more information on it. If I find out, or if I don't forget, I'll update you on this case. Y'all have a great one.